As I've said many times now, I've been playing Minecraft for a very long time indeed, and in that time I've picked up a bunch of different methods to streamline my Minecraft experience, make me a tiny bit faster at doing certain things. So in this video we're going to take a look at 10 life hacks which should make you better at the game. Now before we begin, I just want to mention, if you do enjoy these sorts of videos, please be sure to hit that like button, and let's crack on and I'll show you what I've got for you. For those of you who watch my Hermitcraft series, this one is going to be fairly familiar. Now I'm going to warn you, it does require the elytra to work, but as you can see right here, I've got myself a fence, and if I walk up to it, I can jump over it. Now, generally speaking, in Minecraft, obviously you can't jump over fences. That's sort of the idea of them. But if you time 2 jumps correctly, then you can enable the elytra, bounce off the floor, and make your way over the fence. It's fantastic. For this life hack, we're going to need a sheep. Now, as you guys know, if we kill the sheep right here, he'll drop 1 piece of wool and maybe a couple pieces of mutton if you're lucky. But if you place down a sheep right here and shear him, then of course you get more wool, but when you kill him, unfortunately he doesn't drop any more wool because he's naked, okay? You've already taken all of his wool, so he's not going to be able to give you any more. Now what if I told you that you could get just as much wool as shearing them, whilst also killing them at the same time? Now this does take a little bit of skill. We're going to place down our sheep right here, and we're going to hit him with the sword and then shear him as he falls. Are you ready? Here goes. Boom. Click. There it was. So he picked up the wool that he dropped from dying, but then we also shear his dead body, which is pretty horrific, and we end up with more wool and also the mutton. I always thought that everyone knew about this one, but according to my comment sections, that isn't necessarily the case. So for those of you who play in creative mode quite a bit, you can control middle click on containers to pick up the container with all of the items on the inside, so then you just essentially duplicate it. So this one's got a bunch of diamonds on the inside, and this one has exactly the same number of diamonds. It's perfect. Believe it or not, boats are actually one of the best methods of transportation on land. Completely forget water. Boats on top of ice are the best things in the world. Not only can you transport things like villagers, for example, this guy right here, but if we take a look inside, look at us travel along. We absolutely take off. It's insane, and especially good for massively long nether tunnels because, well, you can fly right the way through them. So we've just been out for a massive mining session. We placed the Haste 2 beacon right in the center, and then we went ham in the area around it. We gathered up loads and loads of resources, and we've got tons and tons of items, but now we need to actually take down the beacon. Now the best way to take down the beacon is to start from the bottom, because even though you take out the bottom layers, the top layer still remains, and this top layer right here is technically just a smaller beacon. Now what this means is that although you don't get Haste 2, which means you don't get Instamine anymore, you do still have Haste 1, which makes taking out the beacon pillar just a tiny bit easier. Now let's say for example you've got yourself a melon farm, and that melon farm is producing a ton of melons. Now you've just got yourself a villager who is requesting melon blocks for emeralds, so obviously that means that you've got to craft all of these melon right here into melon blocks. Now that is going to take a very long time indeed. Now I'm going to show you a really quick technique to allow you to craft things very fast if you want to do it in bulk. So the first thing you have to do is drag a bunch of the melon blocks or the things that you're going to be crafting into through your inventory. Then you need to break the chest, which contains all of the items that you need to use to craft the items that are in your inventory, if that makes it any sense at all. So we've broken that one, and we've broken that one, then you need to stand in the pile, and you just need to press the number 1, and that will take the item that is in the first slot of your inventory into the crafting slot that you're hovering over. So you can just press 1 a bunch of times like this, and then you shift click the item into your inventory, and as you can see, it will make its way straight in there. Now this is a super simple method, and it's really very fast. For those of you in high speed PvP situations, perhaps you've just picked up armor, you need to put it on before the other player kills you, this one is going to come in very handy indeed. Now obviously this method right here is a tiny bit on the sluggish side, so I'm going to show you a faster way of doing things, and it simply involves right clicking. You just right click on the armor in your inventory, it will make its way straight on. And the best news is that in creative mode, it seems to also duplicate the items, which is brilliant. At the end of this 1 block high tunnel, there is a chest. Now I have no way to access this chest. As you can see, I can't right click through the blocks or anything like that, and obviously if I go to this end right here, I'm unable to reach it, so by the look of things, it's completely impossible to get to. But the good news is that I am wearing my elytra once again, and we can actually crawl through this area right here by enabling them at just the right time. Once again, we have to jump and then enable them and do that sort of thing, but we do it while walking forwards, and as you can see, we sort of end up flying beneath the block, and then we get stuck beneath the block, which means we stay down here. So now we are crawling along the floor in Minecraft, and we can access this thing, and what on earth are those things? Now everyone knows that the pick block function works fantastically in creative mode. You just look at a block, you think, I want that in my inventory, you press the middle click button, and then it goes straight into your inventory. But the good news is, it also works in survival mode, but of course you have to have the blocks in your inventory already. So for example, I'm in slot number 1 in my inventory right here, and if I middle click, then the leaves from my inventory that were up here make their way down into the hotbar and they get swapped out with the grass. Now if I want the grass back in that slot, then I do this, and if I want the leaves in this slot, then I do that. But if I want my dirt back in that slot, then I have to find some dirt to pick block on. But you guys get the idea. It works wonderfully, and it can really improve efficiency, especially when working with large redstone contraptions, because there's so many components, you tend to get lost. Now this last one isn't commonly known, so you're going to have to listen carefully here, but it's to do with fishing. What you need to do is go up to a lake, cast your bobber into the water, and then you need to wait a little while. Now obviously some fish are going to go up to it. When the bobber goes down, do not pick up the fish, okay? Do not pick up the fish. Instead, count. Because on the 10th time the bobber goes down, you are guaranteed to get a diamond. Guaranteed, 100%. So make sure that you head off to your survival worlds right now and give it a try, and you'll be rolling in the stuff. So there we have it, guys. That rounds up today's video on 10 life hacks that should make you better at Minecraft. I hope you found it enjoyable. If you did, please sure to hit that like button, and if you really loved it, then make sure to subscribe. But thanks for watching, guys. This has been Mumbo, and I'm out. I'll see you later.